So, when we're processing a softcover book, sometimes it needs to be laminated. And the thing with that is we're going to use these book covers. And there's two different kinds. There's the Capco Easy Cover 1, which is basically twin versions of these. They just have like a thinner, more flexible thing that goes over the spine of the book. And basically that's going to wrap around from each side, from the front and back. And you got Capco book cover number 2, which comes with a matching part to use for the front, and this is like a back page, which is kind of easier. So this will stick in the back, and you just wrap around once for the front. But I'll show you, and I'll demonstrate using on this one book cover number 2. So let's go over to a nice flat area. Okay, what you're going to do is start with the back page. So peel off the spine part first and try to line it up. They say you want like a thumb's width away from the spine, but as long as it's just away from the spine from a good decent amount. The reason you want to do that is if you keep it too close to the spine, once the book starts to age, it's going to crack, and it's basically the spine's going to be exposed eventually because it's not going to be enough flexibility for the front part to move, which you'll see in a second. So let me take off this part. And you want to be careful how you do this. You can get a roller squeegee, which is on the other table, and roll it down. But if you're just pretty smooth and quick with your lay down motions, you don't have to worry about air bubbles, which is the annoyingest part of plastic binding, because you might get big ugly air bubbles, and you really want to try not to, because you can lift the plastic off sometimes and keep resetting, but sometimes it's going to rip, and then the plastic is going to get drier and drier, and it's not going to hold, and it's just going to be ugly. But if you get it right the first time, you don't have to worry. So I think the back comes on pretty good, so there's no air bubbles. So you're going to work on the front. Let's see, there's a couple ways to do it, but let's see. This is a big enough size. Yeah. Once again, you take away from the smaller flexible side. You line up from the back. You're not going to start from like the edge or anything. Just going to try to line it up from where the last line was. That's pretty good. And you just lift it up and wrap it around. Yeah. Because the old ways you used to put this corner right on the edge, but that doesn't, as I said, doesn't give enough flexibility, and when the book ages, just going to end up cracking and just looking really bad and exposed. So now it's like you have like the cover will start like from the edge over here and like back here somewhere, so it gives the book space to breathe, and then when you open it and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, so it's not going to be all, if it was at the edge, then it will have to bend in the middle and leave some open air space, and that's what the air is going to dry it out and make it all cracked up. So now it's going to be pretty good. Just take off the front part. Be careful. And try to smooth it from the inside out. Oh, good. There's no air bubbles. Okay. And nearly perfect. There's a couple of ways to cut the extra edges off. The big fancy smancy way is to use the razor. Not way to do it. The machine knows here. You can use this thing here. Let's see if it's still. We'll be here in another area. I generally don't like it because it's very clunky. But I want to see if I can just give you a general, like I should have cut one part first and then focus on the other part. But I like to rush. Need to squeeze and cut. Lift, line it up to where you want to cut it. And then press down and run it along the edge. I suppose it's quick if it's a straight edge like that, but I prefer to use scissors. And just cut along the edge. Nothing beats an old school pair of scissors. Just cut the extra. So far, so good. Might cut the book a little, but it's alright. For the most part, okay. And I think that's it. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so I try to make the edges not as jagged as I can. Okay. Okay, voila, all perfect.